Go ahead and call this meeting to order. Could you please stand so we can salute the flag? And remain standing. We're going to give a moment of silence in a minute. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like you to keep standing. We're going to give a moment of silence for Ukraine for their fighting over there for their freedom. So I think we need to do that, and I think everybody should do that. So a moment of silence. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, and go ahead and be seated. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
Just one minor change. Ken Stoppenbring is going to be sworn in today for Planning Commission, and so we'll delay that item until he arrives, but there's not really any changes to the agenda. Other than, I'm sorry, the public hearing 4.1 needs to be moved up again, so that'll be the first item.
Oh, the public hearing, okay. Okay, that'll be even before proclamations and stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have council's approval of the agenda?
I got a motion.
I'll second it.
Been motioned and seconded. Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Singleton,
Aye.
Councilman Ramirez,
Aye.
Councilman Horn,
Aye.
Councilman Atkinson,
Aye.
Mayor Ramsey.
I also vote aye. Okay, next we're going to go to public hearings. We're moving it up. So we're going to item number 1, public hearing number 3 regarding public input on the redrawing of the district boundaries and consideration of the draft map. Marissa?
Thank you. I believe that Dave is on the line, so Larry, if you don't mind unmuting him so he can go ahead and present.
There's not really anything particularly new to present today. We have the draft map that has been before you from the last meeting. Tonight we just need to have the public hearing, and next week or your next meeting, we will have a resolution for you to adopt either the draft map or some other map that you instruct us or choose to do.
Dave, were there some changes that we made last meeting? Or we
No.
asked to have them made?
No?
Oh, there wasn't? Okay. I thought there was. Okay. Council, would you like to say anything? Any questions on this? Okay, since this is a public hearing, we're going to open the public hearing now. If there's anybody out in the audience or would like to say anything, come on up. Nathan?
Nathan Vosberg, District 3. I would just like to say that the map that's presented in the agenda packet is definitely something that I would support. I think it's the more favorable of all of the maps that you guys have brought forward, and I think it also addresses some of the questions last time that were put forward. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anybody else? Not seeing any, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Would council like to say anything else? Okay, this is a public hearing, so thank you very much for your responses. Okay, next we'll go to
Sorry, can I confirm it's the direction of the council will bring back the resolution with the map that's currently attached? There's no changes to that map?
For the one that we have existing or for sample number 1? Because I think sample number 2 wasn't going to work because we have a council member that is in that
Correct. So draft 1 is attached.
draft one. Okay.
No one has any changes, so the plan would be then for the public hearing number 4, we would bring back the resolution with draft 1 of the map.
Okay. Okay, we'll go to, back to item number 2, Proclamation Autism. Okay, this is a proclamation by the mayor of the city of Kalinga, Autism Awareness Week. Whereas autism or autism spectrum disorder, ASD, refers to a broad range of conditions characterized by the challenge with social skills, repetitive behavior, speech, and nonverbal communication. And whereas autism affects an estimated 1 in 44 children, and whereas autism affects all ethnic and social economic groups, and whereas early intervention affords the best opportunity to afford healthy development and deliver benefits across the lifespan. And whereas the city of Kalinga is committed to create a world where all people with autism can reach their full potential. And whereas April is World Autism Month. Now I therefore, Ron Ramsey, Mayor of the City of Kalinga, do hereby proclaim the week of April 2nd, 2022 through April 9th, 2022 as Autism Awareness Week, and urge all citizens of Kalinga to work together to create an environment in our community where all people with autism can reach their full potential. In witness, therefore, I set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Kalinga to be affixed on the 17th day of March, 2022. Thank you. Is there anybody that's going to receive this today?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, next item, we'll go, this is the section of the agenda which allows members of the public to address the City Council on any item within the jurisdiction of the council. Members of the public, when recognized by the mayor, should come forward to the lectern, identify themselves, and use the microphone. Comments are normally limited to 3 minutes. In accordance with state open meeting laws, no action will be taken by the council this evening, and all items will be referred to staff for a follow-up and report. Citizens' comments submitted in writing to the city clerk by 5 o'clock on the day of the city council meeting shall be distributed to the city council and included in the record. However, they will not be read. Thank you. Is there anybody who would like to address the council? Hilda?
I just want to remind everybody that we're still having our book sale at the library. 2 days left. It'll be tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. And just a question, did you ever find out about riding those scooters and liability? Did you guys ever come up with anything or figure that out? The concerns that I had at the last meeting?
We had some.
Sorry, so technically during citizens' comments, no one's supposed to respond. That's
Oh,
why they're just
I'm
looking
sorry.
at you and not
Okay.
answering. But we
Okay.
can follow up with you on Monday. Sean has that information.
Okay, great. Just wanted to know.
Sorry
Thank you.
about that.
No, that's okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Mary?
Good evening, Mary Jones. I have a bunch of questions about stuff. I sent most of my questions to Marissa prior, but I would like to request a consideration that when there's something referenced, such as the placement of benches, if there could be a footnote of where that was, when that was discussed, or something. I know you can click on it and find all of it in the expanded version. But for some people that just are using a phone or something, it's a little tedious. But if you could put a date or somewhere that it could be quickly referenced without using a hot click. I don't know what that's called. Because I'm not the only one. And I did send a message about item 12 on the consent calendar about licensing software and materials used by various shelters. There are some really, really wonderful options out there. And the one suggested wasn't on the list of really good ones, capital R, capital G. So just a thought. because they have some stuff out there that's very, very affordable and does a whole spectrum of services with no need to hire somebody to do it. It comes with the platform. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else? Nathan?
Mayor and Council, Nathan Vosburg, District 3. First, I'd like to comment on item number 5.4. Definitely in favor of you guys approving the letter in opposition of Assembly Bill 1993, which proposes to require employers and people to have mandatory vaccines. Hope you guys decide to send that letter off. That's a great idea. I think it should be optional. Freedom of choice type of thing. Number 5.5, I hope you decide to send the PPE equipment to the Elks, because that's a good idea. Get those people whatever they need out there. They're doing, I mean, heck, they're doing God's work as far as I'm concerned, really. Item number 6.1, discussion and potential action regarding a city council pay increase. I think you guys should definitely do that. If you don't start doing that at some point in time, you're never going to get yourselves up to the level that other councils are at. And I'm not saying like 80,000 like Fresno, but I think the job that you guys do, pretty much most of you have realized it's a thankless job a lot of times, and it's probably worth more than the 300 that you get, especially since you aren't getting insurance or anything like that. I think you guys deserve more than what you're getting. I've been up there, I understand that. I did want to go back and item number 5.12 on information on the dog license software. I did think that a long time ago that when we were talking to the police chief Salvador, when he was here and we were talking about the REM system, he was talking about that there was a way to utilize that in accordance with animal control to be able to license animals in that database. And so that might be something to look at. And that costs quite a bit of money. I don't know if we still have that system or not. And then the last item is the discussion on 6.2, which is the fiscal year budget. I just added up a few little things. It's in the item, it's in the second attachment, and it's about the expenses that have increased and kind of the justifications for those. And I just added up liability insurance, gas, and electricity. And amazingly enough, those increases are almost 300,000 for what I got. These are major increases. This isn't anything the city did wrong, but when you're looking at the budget, and that tonight, will just be a preliminary stage of that, but understand when you're looking at spending money that this is a small increase. If you look, adding up all the rest of the numbers would have taken forever, a long time. These are just the big things, but there are some really big increases. You may be able to recover some of those funds with the inflation rate on your sales tax, because obviously if people are paying more for more items, then they're going to be paying more in sales tax on those as well. But just be aware that those numbers are huge, and unfortunately 120,000 increase in liability insurances alone, that's a lot, and that's money that's just basically out there. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, is there anybody else who would like to say anything? Okay, thank you. Next, we'll go to the consent calendar. We have 14 items. Is there anything anybody would like to pull? Is there anything that anybody would like to pull from the audience on the consent calendar?
I'd like to pull number 5.
Number 5? Okay, we'll go ahead and go to item number 5. Direct city manager to procure personal protective equipment, PPE, to provide the Kalinga Elks for community cleanup. What's your questions?
And my question is are we going to have a certain amount that we're going to allot to give them the items, the gloves?
Yes, so it is.
Whatever else they need.
Yeah, so I have it here in the staff report. If approved, we would provide 20 sets of snake chaps, 20 sets of work gloves, 500 face masks, which I've already given them because we had a donation of them, and 48 bottles of hand sanitizer, which again, I've already given them. So really what we would be buying is the 20 sets of snake chaps and the 20 sets of work gloves, and I put a item in there not to exceed $3,000. This would come from the city's general fund, and it's not currently budgeted.
And it's a one-time cost.
Right now, what's the cost right now with the snake traps? You don't have an estimate of how much is it right now?
Yeah, so when I added it up to buy 20 sets of snake chaps and 20 sets of work gloves, it was just under $3,000.
Yeah, okay. If we have anything left over, can we get rakes, shovels, whatever we can get as well?
That's up to you if someone wants to make the motion. If you approve it as written, it's only those items, but if you want to say to add additional items to total $3,000 and make a motion and it passes, we can certainly do that.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. Thank you.
On those the snake chaps, can they be reused or?
Yes.
Oh, they can, okay.
Yeah, the work gloves and the snake chaps can. The face masks, they are disposable face masks, but they're good ones, so you could probably use them a few times.
Okay. All right, what would you like to do?
I'd like to,
We'll go ahead and, if you don't want him to add anything to that or go away from it, we'll just put it in the consent calendar.
so I just,
Unless you want to make changes.
Unless you want to make changes.
I want to make some changes, yeah.
Okay.
So, I'd like to make a motion to make changes on the 5.5, that's what it is, to add shovels, rakes, and what are those little things called? Sometimes
Hula hoop?
Dikes,
the
the wire dikes,
they pick up with a little clamp.
all the hand clamps.
Yeah, grabbers. Yeah, and not to exceed 3,000.
Not to exceed what?
3,000.
Well, It's already 3,000.
It's already
With
3,000?
what she's bought.
It was just under, so he's saying just if there's money left, to
Yeah.
use whatever money's left to
Yes.
buy these items.
Okay. Okay. I don't think you're gonna get very many, but,
Councilman, does that also include approval of the rest of the calendar, the consent calendar?
Yes.
okay.
And I'll second that.
Now, is that for the whole consent calendar? Yes. Okay. It's been motioned and seconded for the consent calendar. So roll call vote.
Councilman Ramirez,
Aye.
Councilman Horn,
Aye.
Councilman Atkinson,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Singleton,
Aye.
and Mayor Ramsey.
I also vote aye. Okay, next we'll go to ordinance presentation, discussion of potential action items. Discussion and direction and potential action regarding city council pay increase. Marissa?
Thank you. So this item was requested as a future agenda item by Councilman Atkinson. Pay for council members is governed by Government Code Section 36516, which breaks down pay by population. There's some information in there for you. Currently, council pay is $300 per month. That government code does allow you to approve a 5% pay increase, which would make it $315 per month. That has to be done by ordinance. And so if that's something that you would like to direct me to do, I can bring back an ordinance at the next council meeting to increase council pay from $300 per month to $315 per month.
And that would be an additional 5% per year, or just?
No, it's a
one-time?
one-time.
But we could bring that back every year though, right?
Yeah, so you have to, the way the language is written, you're not allowed to do more than one. And so you kind of the purpose of it is that you do have to bring it back every year, but an additional up to an additional 5%.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the reason why I brought this up is because I talked to Mayor Ramsey and former Mayor Lander, and they couldn't remember the last time council had a raise. Can you remember, Mayor Ramsey?
No, I don't. I think it's been about the same amount we've gotten almost the whole time I've been in.
Yeah. So that's why I brought this up. A lot of us are underpaid. Everyone else has got a raise now, and everyone else has got higher budgets. So let's get rich with $15 a month.
Okay, is that a motion to bring an ordinance back?
If you guys want to.
I'll second that.
Okay, there's been a deal to bring an ordinance back
to raise our pay, and it's been seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Atkinson,
Aye.
Councilman Horn,
Aye.
Councilman Ramirez,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Singleton,
You know, it just sounds greedy. I vote aye.
Mayor Ramsey.
So would I. I've got his arm over here twisting. No, not really. Okay, thank you, guys. Okay, next, we'll go to our fiscal year 2022-23 budget, requested budget discussion and direction. Jasmine?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is the first draft of the fiscal year 2022-23 budget. Now, I think it's referenced in the staff report as 2023. This draft of the budget only includes the operation portion of the expenses. And so something we've provided as an attachment this year is the budget increase justifications for all budget items, for all line items that increased by $1,000. Now, there were line items due to reallocation that went down as well. Those were not included. We were just including anything that increased more than $1,000. The next draft of the budget will include personnel expenses, and so that'll be the first time that you'll see just the full expense portion of the budget. And then the meeting after that will put in the revenues, and so that'll be the time when you look at revenues versus expenses to figure out which funds are a balanced budget, which ones need to be balanced. And so at that time, we can talk about changes that you want us to bring forth in the next draft. So at this time, I can answer any questions you have based on what's been provided.
Yeah, I have one question. It's in the budget itself. Let me see if I can get it up real quick. It's almost up.
It's really slow today.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's really slow. It was on the, there was some money that was still being taken out on the Claremont, and I was wanting to see what that was.
So the snapshot of the budget that you see goes from fiscal year 2017. That was the year that we sold the Claremont facility, and we were taking those funds from the sale of the property to offset and close out the Claremont fund, and that was about 2.8 million. You can see that on page 1.
Oh, was it on page 1? Because I thought it went all the way over. And
So it does. The detail of that particular fund is on page page 19. That also shows the detail of the Claremont fund. And then on page 17, it shows the detail line item for those funds being transferred out to the Claremont fund. But that happened in 2017.
yeah, that's what I thought. But
Yeah.
when I was looking at it, it looked like it went all the way over. It was still going on.
No.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. What I probably saw is that transfer to general fund reserve, and when I was bringing it over, because that 434, 480. Okay, that's just right underneath it. Because I was going over this real fast, so. Okay, well, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, this is information only, basically, isn't it? Or do we have to?
Correct.
Yeah.
You
It's actually-
can potentially provide direction now if you want to. It's kind of premature because you can't really see the full picture. Like Jasmine said, so next meeting, you'll see the personnel expenses as proposed. And then the following meeting, which would be, what did we decide that was? So April 7th, you'll see personnel. And then the second meeting in April, you'll see the full budget picture. And then at that point is really the time where
Right.
you want to make suggested changes because you'll see the full budget picture. on April 21st, you'll see the full budget picture.
Okay. Any questions? Any questions from the audience? Okay, well, thank you very much. It's just discussion and direction. Next we'll go to announcements. City Manager, do you have any announcements?
I do. I have two. So I just wanted to remind everyone that April 2nd, the city of Kalinga has partnered with the Parks and Rec District and the Kalinga Area Chamber of Commerce to host Kalinga's first annual autism awareness event. It starts at the library, and the kids are going to get information from the library about events going on that week, and they're going to be handed a scavenger hunt list, and they're going to walk from the library to the sports complex. And then there's going to be a bunch of different booths at the sports complex. I think the parade starts at 11, and then at the sports complex, the booths open from 1 to 4, I believe. But the information is available on the city's Facebook page. And then also on April 9th, that Saturday, the fire department is hosting their first annual trap shoot for autism awareness. And so anyone who is interested can contact Eric Beasley at the fire department. An autism awareness, yes.
Okay. Any council members announcements? Okay. Now, I don't have it in front of me, but isn't there one more thing happening about a trail at the park?
Yes. So I believe it's Saturday, March 26th. I don't know the time offhand, but there's a ribbon cutting at Keck Park for their Born Learning Trail that ERA is funding.
Okay. I remembered there was one other thing. I couldn't remember what it was. Okay. I have no announcements myself either. Do we have any future agenda items?
I like to make a future agenda item. I want to see if we could look at the parks that the city has and get an overcover area tent for those playgrounds, and see if we could get the update on playgrounds. I don't know when's the last time we got updates on those playgrounds, as you know, is if they're still on a safety course or they need to be replaced, and if so, that way we could get those. I've been going to the playgrounds. I mean, they look good, but you know, sometimes with the sun, rain, and weather, they get worn down, and I like to see it have a base cover over it, not like just a little cap for you know. I like to see the whole thing being covered with the sun.
Is that all of them in town? Or
No, just the cities.
just the ones at our park?
Just the cities, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, anybody else have anything?
Yeah, I have a item here. It's going to refer to parking, the semi-truck parking within the city of Kalinga. Just like to know where can they, will they, are allowed to park?
Yeah, that's been brought up a couple of times. And we've had some areas that we've allowed it and stuff, but we do have a new chief now too, so I think he can get with us and we can have a report on that.
Well, is there any way we could get a hold of Granite and see if we could work something out? They have the old.
Sorry, can I stop you? You technically can't talk about this right now, but we'll bring it back as a future agenda item.
Okay, sounds good.
Currently, right now, there is nowhere in city limits that trucks can park. So we'll bring back that item and then maybe some possibilities of where they may be able to. You guys can discuss it then.
Okay, sounds
Okay. Okay. Adam, did you have anything?
No, I'm all good. Thanks, Mayor.
Okay, sometimes we have problems with this, you know, or I just wanted to make sure with this time.
All right.
Okay. We have no closed session this morning. There's going to be no report. So I think,
Mayor, sorry, do you mind just taking a short intermission because Mr. Stoppenbring's only about 5 minutes away?
Okay.
And if you can just take an intermission when he gets here, do the swearing in, and then you can adjourn the meeting.
okay, we can do that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take an intermission. Thank you, guys.
You just Uber. It's Vegas. One of you guys can designate your
Okay, we'll go ahead and open this meeting back up. We'll go to item number 2, I think it is,
2.2. Oh, no, 2.1.
2.1. The swearing in of Ken Stoppenbring to the City of Kalinga Planning Commission. Ken, can you meet me at the podium, please?
Thank you for hanging around a few more minutes.
You were worth it, Ken. It was okay.
I left another board meeting 15 minutes early so I could try to get here on time, so I appreciate the effort.
Okay. You don't have to put your hand on anything, but repeat after me.
I need to raise my hand.
Oh, yeah, raise your hand. Okay. Say aye and state your name.
I state your name, Ken Stoppenbrink.
Do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservations
without any mental reservations
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will faithfully, well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of which I am about to enter.
the duties which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that's it, all right?
Huh?
We're good then.
Yeah. All you have to do is sign your name at the top, I think.
Turn this back in.
Yeah. No, you don't have to turn it back in.
Just,
Yeah, somebody else will
okay,
get
all
you
right.
one.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks again. Appreciate your time.
With that, I don't think we have anything else, so I'm going to go ahead and adjourn this meeting, and thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you.